Hi, how are you? Sensei Gould here, and I'm shooting this video close to the dojo training deck. It's right behind me here. Usually when we're here in the dojo, we spend most of our time sweating it out on the floor and punching and kicking and grabbing and throwing and blocking and doing all kinds of uh, ostensibly violent things. But I want to also emphasize that violence is not in our nature here at the dojo. And as physically intense as our techniques may appear, we also spend a significant amount of time here at the dojo teaching nonviolence, and that's what I want to emphasize here today. It's actually part of our curriculum here at the dojo that I require my students to study peace education, nonviolent communication, anger management, conflict resolution skills. Those are all part of our curriculum here. So as much time as we spend in the dojo in the white pajamas throwing each other around, in order to get a black belt here, you've also got to temper that with an understanding, an appreciation for, and frankly a desire to be peaceful. So I require my students to study it, but I don't just hang them out to dry. Right over there is our dojo library, and all of these resources that I'm about to show you are available to my students, and by extension, anyone in the community who wants to come by and borrow these resources. So we have things all about peace here. I'm going to grab things. I have the Peace Book, which is 108 Ways to Create a More Peaceful World. I have a book on anger management. I've got two books here. One of them is on Getting to Yes. It's a great book on negotiating, conflicts in the workplace and how to resolve those. How to talk to people is also important too. So Difficult Conversations is a book we've got here. I have an entire audio course on nonviolent communication. It's an outstanding resource. And then we also study peacemakers here as well. Okay? I'll keep reaching for all these things, but I want to show you the depth of resources that we have at our library. This book is called Architects of Peace. It's profiles of peacemakers in the 20th and 21st century. Okay? Right over here, I'm going to go through my quick list of my heroes. I've got a book on Mother Teresa. Here's another one on Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, and a wonderful, beautiful soul called Peace Pilgrim. This is her autobiography on the fact that she walked around the country just talking about peace. Okay. Martial artists, of course, do peace as well. So there's The Art of Peace. It's heavily tagged. I look at this almost every day. And then we have some more contemporary books by another one of my heroes, Thich Nhat Hanh. This is Peace is Every Step. This is Creating True Peace. This is Being Peace. And one by Deepak Chopra, Peace is the Way. Many things here. Okay? One of the things I'm actually working on right now, September is the International Day of Peace, is September 21st. So I usually embark on a little bit of peace education myself every year to sort of refresh my mind on peaceful thinking and to lead the way for my students who are required to engage in these projects. And the book that I've just finished reading is a book by Paul Chappell called Will War Ever End? And I love the book because it's thin, and with two kids, I don't have a lot of time to read, but it's thin in size, but very thick in content. And one of the things that Captain Paul Chappell talks about here in his book is that he's come to the realization that humans by nature really aren't truly violent, and that war is against everything inherent in our own DNA. And we have a very strong protection instinct, but a killing instinct is something that we really don't have. And he goes through this book to talk about that and a bunch of other things, including things like how can love overcome hatred, and how does nonviolence overcome the power of violence. I can't recommend this book highly enough. I've actually been in contact with Captain Chappell, and he's coming to Boston later this fall, and I look forward to meeting with him in person and talking about some of his ideas and how we relate those ideas here on the dojo floor. Okay? So all the peace resources that we have here in the dojo, they're not just for the adults. we've got plenty of resources here for the kids. We have a Little Dragons program and a youth program, and I expect the kids in our programs here to appreciate nonviolence as well. So we have books like Have You Filled a Bucket Today, which is a guide for kids on how to make other people feel good. Okay? Some peace tales that we can talk to the kids about when we have our mat chats on the dojo floor. This one's a great one. It's called Can You Say Peace? And it goes throughout the world and talks about kids around the world and what their life is like and how to say peace in their native languages. Okay? I have another book called If Peace Is. It's a nice little story to read to the younger kids. And then, of course, we've got the perennial favorite, the Peace Book. Okay? I just stole it off my daughter's bookshelf at the house, and I put it here in the dojo. Okay? So what I'm really trying to get at here is that as martial artists, we're not just about the punching and the kicking and the violence side, that part of our responsibility as martial artists is ending conflict and hopefully ending it without violence. Okay? This last book I'm going to show you is a wonderful one called The Art of Humane Living. You can see the E there, right there. Humane living, where martial arts is a path to peace. So if you find any of these resources interesting, come by the dojo. I'm happy to lend them out, and I hope to see you soon.